Alrighty, we're live. Yeah. Sorry for the delay. As Olivia said, technical issues, but now they're resolved. So good morning and welcome to Synergy of the Moment, DRUID AI and OpenAI, and welcome to this fabulous Microsoft Experience Center. So I'm Raj Sharma. I'm the commercial lead for the UK at DRUID. That's my day job. But today, and just for today, I'm also going to be, I have the privilege to be your master of ceremonies. So any feedback, how I did, please back of your badges. Appreciate it. Yeah. Okay. So we have an exciting lineup of speakers, presentations, and interactive sessions. And, the goal of today is to kind of delve into the transformative power of conversational and generative AI and how that's kind of disrupted industries. It's enhancing customer experience. It's, optimizing operational efficiency. And most importantly, it's driving innovation globally. All right, so as we navigate through the agenda, you're going to be hearing from leading experts and leaders who kind of are at the forefront of this technology. They will share their knowledge, experiences, and their visions of the future of Gen and conversational AI. So, but before we dive into the sessions, I'd like to extend a special thank you to our partners, Microsoft, for allowing us to be here and hosting us at their wonderful offices, and for their continued support. But most importantly, I'd like to thank you as the audience for those who are attending live and the audience who are attending virtually. So, let's try to make this session, interactive. Let's try to, network and inspire each other as we go through the day with sessions, with presentations, with roundtables, and later on today, after the session, we also have a happy hour in the office as well. So hopefully, most of you can join that too. Okay, so let's kick it off. So without any further ado, I'd like to invite Livio, our CEO and founder of DRUID, to share some insight on how Gen AI is actually impacting industries and the world today. So, Livio, can you make a round of applause, please? Thank you.
So, good morning, everyone. It's a real pleasure to be here on this incredible event, bringing together the innovative minds of DRUID and Microsoft. And so I'm feeling very, 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 very well in London, living now more in New York than here or in Bucharest. Yesterday, I live with such a nostalgia about how beautiful city is London, even compared with New York. So, and I'm so happy to support Martin, our CRO in EMEA, to hire more people. He says for the business, but for me it's very important that I will have more reasons to come here because I'm feeling so well in London. So, thank you for your presence, and I would like today to amaze you, because this was permanently my vision, to amaze you with what we have created and with our achievements, which I think for today, it's the last feature we have created and a completely different, something unique in the conversational AI. And this part is, we call conductor bot or megabot. Marketing at that moment marketed as megabot. I do not like megabot, but I will mix to create a confusion in your mind, but I'm saying conductor bot. Because this conductor bot is not a bot, is a chairman, is a conductor of all the virtual assistants which could be in our platform. And all these chatbots in the platform which are specialized in different use cases. So that means a megabot in the platform comes with manage some different other bots, specialized, equipped with a business, with a comprehensive business knowledge, each of the chatbot. And this is something which we consider amazing, because you know very well that the platforms evaluate now in a fantastic rhythm from technological point of view. But it's something which we have to take care permanently about the business, about how we have capitalized up to now our project, our use cases. And in all these chatbots, they are coming already equipped with a business. And that is something which is extremely appreciated. It's a very profound advantage of what we have created, Megabot. More than this, Megabot can also manage GPT and Copilot. And we'll see for the first time that in our platform we can use and to manage, to coordinate a Copilot as well. And if I'm asking why I'm doing this, because I love Microsoft. Because entire my life I work in the Microsoft technology, and of course at that moment of time, DRUID, it's difficult for DRUID at that time to create a new king category in which to be unique and to create their own category. And in this situation, we jump in the train of Microsoft, and I think it's the right decision. So I think today my colleagues will show to you exactly, of course, that Megabot could work also with Einstein from Salesforce, with any other chatbot. So the idea is to use just only one data entry, which can manage and coordinate and conduct all the rest of the chatbot. And it's something much more important. As you know, or part of you, we have a solution library where there are different use cases. And we took a very wise decision. All these use cases are too complex sometimes, and are not all the features, all the, let's say, flows of a use case to be useful for you. And in this situation, we make a breakdown of each use cases in fragments of flows. And the Megabot can create a chatbot according to his needs, tailored needs. For example, for the procurement, there are a lot of features inside. And from the beginning, it doesn't make sense to use all of these, because there are in your application. But some rules of tender, some to compare some offers make sense. And you can take just from solution library, just only this flow to add and to create a chatbot. This is something unique, because you have a solution library which permanently will be richer and richer, and then we can use different fragments. And that is extremely appreciated by the clients. It's an indispensable tool for the clients we have at that moment. So I hope that with all the demo, Andrea and my colleagues are going to show to you, with your questions, is so important to understand exactly this new solution. And you'll see that the reason that Martin and Raluca will talk is also the effect which was coming from Gartner, from community of Gartner, who voted DRUID as a second choice, community of Gartner, in their choice after. So first of all, I say that I'm extremely proud with my team that bringing live this Megabot, this conductor bot for you, and to see exactly all the advantages, because the most important is what we have created to be used by everybody. And at that moment, we have a very, very important diversity of the client. For example, in New York, we are very, very strong in educational, we are very strong in healthcare, and in different services. We have at that moment many clients, and the reason that we have a diversity of the clients is because we are working with partners. And many of you here, we are our partners. And we continue to think that we have to go through the partners. So I would like also to express my entire gratitude for Microsoft that we are here. I am so happy that to work together with Microsoft and to amaze the world with their technology, with our competence and our creativity. So I would like to say not to I will talk permanently within this meeting together with my colleagues, and I hope to have a very nice day, or interesting at least. Thank you.
Thanks, Livio. I think he touched upon it in terms of how strong our partners are out there who are using our technology day in, day out, and he's kind of set the stage for the next session, and that's around the alliance between Microsoft and DRUID AI, and that is kind of set to propel AI innovation to the next level. So to tell you a bit more about that, I'd like to introduce our Vice President of Alliances and Partnerships, Irina Dokitu. Yeah. And joining us virtually is our Microsoft Senior Director ISV Partners, Alina. If you come in. Yeah.
Hi, can you hear me? Yes. Yes, I am particularly grateful for partners, as I'm looking after the partners in DRUID, both technical partnership as well as our distribution partners, the ones that are implementing our solutions, the ones that are bringing business knowledge to our solution. But since we are on the Microsoft topic, I would say that DRUID, from the first time it embarked itself on this amazing journey, it has seen Microsoft as a partner, but also as a locomotive. And we were expecting to be at the pace of a TGV. And boy, it has been a journey with Microsoft, and to keep up with the challenges that they gave to us. I would say that one of the first challenge that we ever received from Microsoft is to be present in their marketplace. And so we did. Moreover, we managed to get over 1 million worth of licenses through the Microsoft Marketplace. So being part of that environment made us quite popular within the customers that have a MAC agreement. It's Microsoft Azure Consumption Agreement. It's an agreement that is done with Microsoft. And so any customer that would be using that agreement, they could benefit from DRUID licenses. Another challenge that they brought to us is becoming a top-tier ISV, and here we are, sitting here with you guys in their home in London. But the biggest challenge that we ever received from Microsoft so far was using OpenAI for businesses in the enterprise environment. And so, because our platform was designed from the very beginning, having in mind consuming AI technologies such as OpenAI, it has been the perfect mix between DRUID as a platform and this type of generative LLM technology. So it's a great pleasure to talk today with Alina. Alina is one of the oldest, I would say, supporters of DRUID ever since day one. So, hi, Alina. Good to see you. Well, you can't see it. In the New York office, it was easier. So, Alina, 1 second, we can't hear you yet.
I can hear you, Irina. Perfect. Anytime you are ready, I can start. Okay. Okay. So hello, everybody. It's a bit strange because I don't see the room. I don't hear anything from the room, and it's a bit tricky. I just see myself. Very happy to be here with you, even virtually. I would have wished to be in the meeting room, to feel the room, to feel the energy and the excitement about everything that Druid is currently doing. So, as already Livio mentioned, and also Irina, Druid is forefront in terms of driving with innovation and being part of your day-by-day life, being part of day-by-day challenges that you are having with your businesses. So everything that is done currently by them shows up only the care for the customers and actually the intention to make everything smoother, easier, and in line with the innovation that is currently happening in the market. And as Livy was mentioning, indeed, Druid is a very good and I would say professional and since a lot of time partner of Microsoft and align with the innovation and with everything that Microsoft done. So as you already know, and I'm confident that you will learn more today from Druid colleagues. Right now, everything that is around generative AI, OpenAI, Azure OpenAI, it's actually meant to make your life easier, to improve our experience together, and to drive even further all the innovation across the board. And ISVs, because independent software vendors are actually staying day by day with you and knowing your business, being intimate with everything is actually, I would say, the spearhead for everything happening between Microsoft and the market. So without further ado, I would think that better you can start the discussion about what Druid prepared for you today. I know a couple of insights, but I don't want to reveal them to spoil the surprise. I wish you a great event. Myself and my colleagues, also I think Mary is in the room, our colleague from UK, will be there alongside of the event and afterwards to actually complement everything that you might need. And for you to know, we are supporting Druid. Druid is um, staying hand in hand with us in developing further the technology. And very nice to meet you and looking forward for more and looking forward for more from Druid. I hope that my message was clear and simple. It's and I hope that the connection went well. I wish you a nice event forward and looking forward for communicating and hearing back from you.
Good morning. So I was mentioned a couple of times. I'm Martin Kraft. I'm looking after our sales teams for EMEA and APAC. And I have the pleasure of speaking now with Raluca. You're getting known one.
Yes.
Take mine.
Hello, everyone. My name is Raluca Tătărușanu. I'm VP Sales in Druid and the first sales when we started. So we're very excited to talk a bit, not about the technology, but actually what the technology is doing to our customers. I know it's a bit weird to salespeople talking about, not about trying to sell the technology, but actually to tell you a bit the stories behind the success of our customers. So I'll pass it on to you a bit to tell us why we gathered here today.
Well, at least for the why we gathered here today is we already touched on, but what we would like to shed a bit light on. There was a couple of weeks ago a very nice a very nice thing happening, which we actually had no doing in, but we figured that in the Gartner peer community there was something going on, and you know how it is if you're doing a presentation and you quote analysts, Gartner analysts, whoever it is. That's always a good call because the analysts are always right. So that's an easy one, right? To set a safe ground. So in this case, it was not Gartner speaking about us, it was the Gartner peer community. So they have spoken, and again, still analyst flavor in the room. Who would we be to disagree? Of course, we leave the facts as they are. So let's have a look what was going on there. We were super happy that there was what would be a recommendable technology to form a knowledge-based solution, to have interactions with a vast unstructured pile of data, of knowledge, and how to get into it. And we were nominated there by the community, it was voted for, and the results were quite interesting. So we made place number 2. Why are we celebrating number 2? Because number 1 was Azure OpenAI, ChatGPT. Everybody is all hype about it. Yes, fine. But like from the practitioners in the field, we were voted number 2 behind that with a really good 20%. So we were super happy with that. And then there was a second comparison coming up for use cases in the IT service, which put us next to Microsoft again, Azure OpenAI. We scored a 4 overall, and 4.3 was Microsoft. And what I really love here, 100% of the users voting for us would recommend us to peers, would say, yes, go there. I will not point out, well, 83%. But there's one thing we heavily disagree here, or we politely disagree. We were pitted against Microsoft here in a comparison, like it's a competition, which it is not, because as Livio said, our technology is heavily based and working with everything Microsoft does. It's the platform for what we do, and as well, Microsoft Azure OpenAI is one of the technologies we interface with most frequently and most intensely, especially for the last 18 months. So basically, I would make the case to say, if we correct this small error the community has made there, then we would need to add everything together, which puts us as 68% recommendation. Please allow me to entertain me on the on the simple math. And if we go to the upper left corner to compare both, that's 8.3 out of 5. That's convincing stats. We take your POs out at the coffee. No, just joking. But if we keep going with this, and now throw everything, we're bringing us 3 houses here together in a context. Yeah, that's then 80% from the 4 and 68 from the 4.3, and then the 20 and 40. Well, you get it. At the end of the day, what we want to talk about and what this is all about is indeed that we're bringing synergy together to make things work in concert for a very clear, tangible, real-life impact. Because at the end of the day, I always keep saying, nobody cares about the technology. Why are we doing this? To solve real things, to make a improvement to the real business world within organizations. And that's very clearly our mission. In our case, that means we build powerful agents making this impact. And we thought, if we already have you here, locked up in a warm room, why not use the chance to introduce you to a couple of these agents making these differences? So with that, I would like to ask you, Raluca, to introduce us to a couple of these agents.
Yes, to be my pleasure. Can I have the... Perfect. Good. So I think we cannot talk about technology without actually looking at the results. Because yes, technology is exciting. Technology is the driving force behind everything that we do. But I think more strongly is everything that the customers are getting in terms of results. So I handpicked some of the customers that we really take pride of what they achieved throughout the journey with us. Obviously, there are much more. We take pride of over 200 customers at this point in a 6-year journey since we started DRUID. So I handpicked a bit from different types of industries because I think it's really, really relevant because whenever you're looking into an industry, there is a certain type of behavior that the customer has. And I think the behavior is very important when interacting with the technology. So I want to introduce you to Ada. Ada is part of the ERSI group. ERSI group that is extended all over the world. Ada is the BCR's, so the Commercial Bank of Romania, first virtual assistant. Yeah. How we ended up first with the project, they launched an RFP. And what set us as being the winners of this RFP was actually the power of the platform. So not necessarily what the virtual assistant can actually do, but actually the fact that they were won over by the fact that the platform is actually can stretch across the organization, and actually you don't build just one virtual assistant, but you actually look forward into the future on what you can actually build in a roadmap. Yeah, because it's not a one-hit wonder that we do here, but we actually try to build in the future. So Ada, you can find her on the BCR's website. I think do I need to click? No. How do I do it? To like play it? Perfect. So Ada is helping with the customer support for first the individuals. So this is how they actually started. They wanted to test a bit the customers to see exactly how drawn they are to actually talking with the virtual assistant, because this is something that is very important. And it talks a bit about the behavior of the customer and if they're drawn to using this kind of technology alternative to actually calling, because we've been there. All of us, not only from what we do day to day, but actually we are customers of different brands. And we kind of hate staying in line and waiting for someone to actually pick up and answer to our questions. So this is the answer to everything that they've done with Ada. Moving forward with what happened, and I'll just send you the link of the...
You were supposed to see it working.
Yes,
there,
how it's actually working. But I think the most powerful thing about Ada is the results that it managed to get after just 3 months. Yeah. So BCR and NC Group actually managed to save over 34 human FTEs, which is huge when it comes to call centers and all the support that a virtual assistant can actually offer. They actually improved their customer satisfaction score, and also they managed to get over 230,000 conversations throughout the chat. So it's really powerful, especially because these are the results for just 1 quarter, 3 little months. And it talks and it speaks language, it speaks volumes about how drawn people are actually to talk to a virtual assistant. Fast forward, since the moment we actually went live with Ada, they have 6 new chatbots. Yeah, and not only that, but actually they saw the power of what we do and the technology of DRUID, that they actually built an internal digital team solely to take care of DRUID and to actually build virtual assistants throughout the organization. So we're not building them anymore, they are. They're actually gathering, the digital team is actually gathering the needs from the business and then transposing it into DRUID and virtual assistant. So they have, besides Ada, which is customer facing, they have 6 internal chatbots for FAQ, for IT help desk, for everything operational, and now we're doing risk management connected with UiPath. So they really expanded the way they actually use the technology. And
I would like to add, to point out on this project, which is It's a very nice project. It's important that it was an effect which is not here because are not in numbers, that the turnover of their call center was very, very high, as it happens everywhere in the world. And this is because they were in a position to answer to very simple questions, the same questions, and many of them, and of course, became a very boring job, staying to answer. So, and that was the turnover decrease with 45%, which was absolutely great. And many of them, they were, let's say, got another role in the company. And that was a very good effect in the company because they understood the need of a virtual assistant in front of the clients. More than this, it's very interesting that the call center, our platform is not used just only by the external users, but even by the call center. Instead to navigate in 2 or 3 applications in financial sector, as you know that it happens to answer to questions, they are using our virtual assistants just to answer to the user as well. And that was a very interesting, let's say, effect, result of perform.
Yes, and BCR and RC Group is just one example of what we're doing in the banking industry because we started off with the first customer being a bank, the largest bank that we have in Romania, and that they had the same success story in actually taking the technology, getting accustomed to it, and then building a digital team that will actually serve across organizations. Yes?
They have also one of the subsidiaries called BT for Small and Medium Enterprises, and the CEO organized a survey after launching the full virtual assistant that does not only onboarding but also signing the loan contracts. And in the survey, the funny part was that 80% of the respondents, there was a question, how did you find the interaction with the bot? And they said there was no interaction with the bot. We talked with a human because we talked with Raul, and Raul is actually the bot. So they didn't make a difference between Raul and a human. And these are figures coming from reality and from the CEO of Transylvania Bank. And because you see this figures here, I wanted to introduce you the customer success team that we have in DRUID. So everything that we are showcasing today in this session is monitored by our customer success. We have dashboards that anonymize data but measure the performance of every virtual assistant that is in production, and the team works constantly with the customers and partners in order to support an entire automation journey within the virtual assistant.
Yeah. So basically that's the whole, no, it's very good. No, this is actually how we end up having this these numbers of virtual assistants within an organization, because we just don't implement it and then we leave it there. We have this very powerful dashboard that I'm sure Andrea will be taking it and showing it to you later on in the demo. But actually it is a very visual way of actually seeing the performance and the health of the bot. And this is something that we closely monitor. So this is for the banking industry. Healthcare, I'm very...
Our major challenge now is in US to Bank of America and to City National Bank, where there the competition is very, very high, and we got this project, and Bank of America is a real big challenge, also working for external users.
Yes. Also a very large stream of income and a very big focus that we have here in DRUID is the healthcare industry. We just recently, last week, we organized an event for the healthcare sector, both organized with Microsoft, because it's really an industry that it's really starting to look more and more in technology. Yeah, and I just had a very interesting discussion this morning with Isabel and the team here, because we see a lot of traction within the healthcare space into more and more getting technology involved within the processes, and making it more patient-centric, more self-service for the patient, and at the same time allowing time for the practitioners, for the doctors to actually get connected with the patient, because I think this is what we actually do here. We save up time for the processes that don't necessarily bring a lot of value, but actually take time back for the people to actually be more connected with their customers. I want to talk to you today about Maria from Regina Maria. It's a project that is very, very dear to me. We have been working with them since the beginning of DRUID, and it's very interesting because they didn't start with a patient-facing bot. They start with an internal one. Yeah, so this is another way of actually doing projects. You either go and straight target the customers, or the patients, or wherever the business is doing. They went internal. Yeah, they said, okay, let's try to test it first, see it with our managers. And actually, they started with Anna, which was an assistant for managers. So they have 150 managers. So wherever they were doing from an approval perspective, they were doing it via Anna in Teams. Yeah, so basically Anna connected with 5 different systems, which is very interesting because it took the managers such a long time to all the time sign in all the different systems in order for them to do approvals of CapEx, OpEx, contracts, you name it. Yeah, so we gathered this, the lifelong dream of everyone to have a personal assistant. This is actually what we've managed with Anna, and Anna was the first project that we've done with Regina Maria. But then we said, okay, it works, it looks very good, but let's try to expose it to the patients as well. So this is how Maria came into light, because we wanted to see exactly what is the traction from a patient perspective. And the funny story is that they said like this: we will not do any marketing. Yeah, we'll just, at one point in time, I remember it was 2 p.m. in the afternoon, they said, we'll just make the bubble appear. And then we'll see exactly if the patients are actually drawn into talking with the chatbot, or they will continue calling in the call center and wait long hours until someone picks up. In the first month, we had 1 million messages transacted with Maria. And what we've done interesting here is that when we started off with Maria, we just did questions and answers and then routing to people in call center. And this actually allowed us, through the power of the platform, to actually analyze the conversation history and see exactly what the patients were actually interested about. Because I think there's a bit of a challenge sometimes that we think we know best what our customers need, but actually what the platform is showing us is exactly what they're actually interested in. And this is how we actually grew Maria into, for her to actually be able to answer to questions about pricing, about doctors, booking appointments, getting information about how to prepare for a consultation. And little by little, we actually extended her even further, because we said, okay, we see that patients don't necessarily know to what practitioner to go if they have a headache, for example, because we're not doctors. We don't know exactly all the different specialities that a clinic can have. So we've embedded the DRUID with a symptom checker, yeah, that helped with the triage. After we've done this, we've extended it to the digital signature of the contracts for birth contracts, stem cell contracts, so that it's streamlined, is much easier for the patients to actually deliver this experience. These are the numbers. These are the numbers for the chatbots that Regina Maria is having from the Maria, which is the patient support. Just last year, these are the numbers for just 12 months of last year. They managed to actually have 10,000 new appointments just from the chatbot. The price of a consultation in Regina Maria is €100. You do the math, yeah, of how much the actual impact was of the virtual assistant within the business. Because I think what is the most important, and I think it's a paradigm that we're trying all the time to change, is that virtual assistants are not actually here to just improve the overall experience of the patient, of the customer, of the employee, but it actually is a stream of growth of revenue. Yeah, here in this sense, it actually helped with that. Yeah, because we had Maria that actually drew more people and more patients within their database. Obviously, afterwards, we extended it to HR, IT, help desk, and so on. But I think the Maria success story is really something to be proud of. We'll go on to retail because we talked...
One second, Raluca.
Yes.
I think we have a real gem of a why is these conversational agents so important in companies today? Of course, many people are used to these agents in external scenarios, like to book your appointment. And nobody these days wants anymore to send an email and maybe get for a doctor's appointment, get in 2 days an answer back, and then that's not working. And then, oh, but you have to pay. And so just setting the appointment takes 2 weeks, total process runtime, so to say. This was all real time, things solved. And these experiences, organizations of all kind are offering now to all of us, to the people, is setting an expectation as well for internal. So that's in Regina Maria, that really spread out from an external case to internal as well. If you want to give your employees an employee experience as well, to retain talent, to attract talent, it is quite important that you present yourselves as well, like you would present yourself to customers. And that's again, one platform to cover all of them. But if you think, yes, it's just HR, well, it's not.
A more exciting project in healthcare is Optegra, which is here, and we are so grateful for their trust. But it's a very exciting project.
So actually, Regina Maria is part of a wider group. Optegra is one of the other members from the group. And we have created a similar solution for patient care and aftercare processes, which, to be honest, it lacks in most of the countries and in most of the processes. A similar journey we had implemented in Texas Children's Hospital, Methodist, and most important is Presbyterian, New York Presbyterian Hospital, which is the biggest hospital in New York, where not only considering the aftercare processes, but also improving the medical act by having historical data and analytics and reporting capabilities in order to see what were the top diagnostics, what were the medicines that were prescribed, which patient had severe conditions, and every analytics that we could retrieve from the conversation history data.
So I think we can talk forever about, but I think this is what coffee breaks are for. So we'll be here and in the coffee breaks as well. I'll go really quickly over another really interesting customer, a different story, but also a very successful one. The Kmart Australia project, because it started off from coming as a lead from UiPath, yeah. So as most of you know, we have this long-standing partnership with UiPath, and not only that, the partnership grew from a sales perspective, but also right now they have over 11 internal chatbots that they're using across their organization. So it's a partnership that has went one step further even more. So we started off the discussions with Kmart about having the chatterbot on their website to help with customer support for order management, order tracking, everything related to this commerce, e-commerce journey. It grew really fast. Because it actually, can we play? This is how it's looking like. It's a bubble within the website. It has routing to human, but what most importantly is, as you can see, it has 10 different languages, and very, very exotic and unique. So here I'll take the chance to actually mention the fact that DRUID is actually covering more than 65 languages. So whatever language you need our chatbots to talk. This, for example, also talks in Bengali, for example. So it gets all this customer support and customer journey from a commerce perspective. You can actually say, I want to organize, my kid is turning 2 next month. I want to organize, I don't know, Marvel, thank you, because as you can see, I'm not very prepared for organizing the party. And I'll just write in Chatterbot, what do I need, and help me with picking up exactly everything for this party. And then the chatbot is actually helping us. And what is very important now is that we are, as a next step of the project, we are going to do the product recommendation. Again, not only about customer support and customer satisfaction, but actually to have an impact in the way the revenue is being generated, because just with the Chatterbot, we actually managed to double the revenue that they got from the website. And I think I'll just go, can we go with the next slide? Thank you. I want to show you also the results that they actually got from the bot. In a second. Because also you can see exactly how much the chatbot grew from the first moment when we actually integrated it until today. It actually doubled the savings compared to the second year, and also improved the customer satisfaction score, because I think this is also very, very important, especially in the retail part. And we actually have 4 times conversion rate, which I think it's massive when you're talking with the retail part of a business. Lastly, I want to present to you Sarah. Sarah is part of the Ocean Group, also a retailer, but it's employee-facing. Yeah, so this is another side of what you can actually do in the retail business. Sarah is actually helping the Ocean employees with everything related to HR and recruitment. So everything from admin, statements, logistics as well, employee benefits, everything related to frequently asked questions, because if you were ever an employee in a in a company, I know for sure that you asked questions to the HR of things that you can actually find in the HR tool, because I think this is how we are. We want to get the information much quicker, and a chatbot for HR actually able to do that. So you can actually see 2,000 password resets. I can imagine how many.
My favorite.
Yes. How many let me in kind of passwords were changed. 3,000 queries in the organizational chart. So everything was actually much easily. This actually existed within the systems, yeah. So this is not something we haven't invented. This this information, they had it in the HR system, they had it in the training systems, but it is much easier to actually ask, yeah. So you can see it from the numbers that people have this tendency to rather ask questions rather than to try to find it by themselves. I think we can. I think I need to stop. I see people just like signaling me in the back. I think we can talk for hours about our customers and what we managed to do. I think we're having a break right now, right?
We do have a coffee
perfect.
break.
So I think it's the perfect time. We'll invite you to the coffee breaks. Thank you very much for sticking with us until now. We're really looking forward to hearing your questions about all the customers and all the projects that we're doing. And we're coming back in how much time?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay, so 8 minutes. So we're like, please hurry, people. Thank you very much. Yes, exactly.
We're
Thank
having
you very
coffee
much.
shots.
multi-shared services, we can take away the tedious, the manual, and the repetitive business tasks that kill time and productivity.
Our experienced team of experts have a passion for excellence and the expertise to always deliver. The possibilities are limitless. We put customers at the centre of everything we do, pushing boundaries to provide a business-class service across a range of areas.
Through cutting-edge, human-empowered tech, we stay ahead of the curve, bringing clarity to businesses, helping them find the freedom to focus on what's important,
Improve performance and reach new heights.
We create space. Space for curiosity, space for diverse thinking, for challenge and fun, space to think bigger.
Welcome back, everybody. Hope you enjoy the coffees and feeling refreshed and managed to catch up with peers and colleagues. I'm thrilled to welcome our next speakers from our esteemed clients, Liberty Global. Now, I had the privilege of working with these esteemed people back in 2022 when they started their journey on AI. And what Danny and David are going to present today is, how they started that journey in AI and where they see opportunities within the back office. So please welcome Danny Peel, Director of Transformation, and David Hodgson as the VP of Operations.
All right. Hi. Hello. Well, Raj, thank you very much for the intro. Disappointing, really, because we tend to go a slide light at these things, and we've only got 4 slides, and you've taken the first one. So we're running out of content, so I'll try and fill the next kind of 20 minutes with a little bit of humour, a couple of demos coming up from Danny. Live demos, what could go wrong, I hear you say. It's been pretty smooth this morning, so we're not expecting any hiccups. Look, we want to try and make the session interactive, as we always do, and so your questions are really what makes the conversation flow. We've left about 10 minutes towards the end for questions, so please start thinking of them through the presentation, but anything burning, just shout it out. Livio, I know you'll just shout out if you've got something to add, so we'll see how we get on. So I'm Dave, I'm that one, this is Danny. Danny's over there, look, right? That's who we are. So put together a little video just to tell you a little bit about who Liberty Shared Service is. So we'll just play that for you now. Hopefully you'll get the sound as well.
At Liberty Shared Services, we take away the tedious, the manual, and the repetitive business tasks that kill time and productivity.
Our experienced team of experts have a passion for excellence and the expertise to always deliver. The possibilities are limitless. We put customers at the center of everything we do, pushing boundaries to provide a business-class service across a range of areas.
Through cutting-edge, human-empowered tech, we stay ahead of the curve, bringing clarity to businesses, helping them find the freedom to focus on what's important.
Improve performance and reach new heights.
We create space. Space for curiosity, space for diverse thinking, for challenge and fun, space to think bigger, to grow. We create space for business to transform.
All right, so that's Liberty Shared Services. Why am I showing you that? Because at Liberty Shared Services, we exist to provide tech-led business solutions across a range of subjects, so across finance, HR, legal, construction, and we also provide system support for things like system of records, like your ERPs, your HR systems, etc. We've been in business for about 15 years, and so we've seen some changes over that time. We've moved from a business that supplied scale solutions that provide business process support into a business that provides technology solutions to its customers. And the needs of those customers has changed over time. So you'll see from the flywheel on the left-hand side, a bit of a deep dive of the services that we provide. We now provide automated solutions in transactional finance, so automating how invoices are processed. We provide automated solutions across accounting, thinking about how journals are prepared every month and how you can take some of the sting out of that. More importantly, we connect our customers with their customers. And we believe that running a shared service operation, a back office function, if you will, we have the opportunity to be our customer's engine room. And you'll know that, when the engine's running smoothly, it gives you time to focus on the things that matter to your business. So providing excellent customer service, delivering a great product. But actually, when that engine starts to falter, all of your attention has to be turned inwards. And you have to start thinking about those things like supplier relationships. Are your employees being paid on time? And I guess that's where the relationship with DRUID really started for us. We talk about scale, best practice, expertise. We talk about the talent that we have in our business. And the talent extends beyond just the employees that we house, we call our own. It extends to our partner network as well, and DRUID's been a partner with us for a little over 2 years. What are they doing? Well, they're helping us to connect to our customers 24 hours a day, wherever that customer is in the globe. And so what does that mean for us? Well, that means that our customers can get immediate support as and when they need it, and they feel more closely connected to the services that they buy from us. And as a direct result of that, we can provide better quality customer service. So, I'll tell you a little bit about the journey. We've been with DRUID for a couple of years, and I think back to the last 2 years, DRUID were gracious enough to invite us to the prior 2 sessions that we've held in London, all across different venues. It's nice to be here with Microsoft today. But actually, when we started our journey, we had a relatively disparate organization. We had customer queries that were coming in through multiple platforms. Sometimes we were using some kind of user dashboard, some kind of interface, so the customer would email a query or they'd phone in their query and we'd raise a ticket. And ticketing systems are pretty good, right? They allow you to keep track of what customer wants what and when. They allow you to do a little bit of data analytics, so why customers are contacting you. But ultimately, they're not helping with that real focal point of that customer experience. You've still got 2 to 5 day SLA on some of the most important queries. We've since developed 7 virtual agents for our customers. We allow the customers to name their own virtual agents, which is why you see a bit of a mixed bag there. Just to give you a little idea, so it's Cody with Liberty Global. In Ireland, the television business is Aura, and we've got Athena in Atlas Edge. Lots more to come. Our virtual agents today are all across finance back office. Why? Because we find that finance is where we see a high volume of transactional inquiries coming in from our teams. People want to know whether an invoice has been received. The suppliers of our customers want to know whether they can update their details, things like address information or business information. Our business users want to know when a supplier is going to get paid and how, so that they can interact better with their supplier. That's why we focused on finance back office. We're broadening out into HR back office as well. And what we started to see is the expectation of customers has increased. This is what we're talking to Liv about this just a moment ago, that the 2022 expectations changed dramatically in 12 months. You saw the rise, as you did, of OpenAI, so ChatGPT came to prominence, and that really, for the majority of people, possibly in this audience, but certainly within our customer base, was a real awakening moment. The power of these virtual agents and what they can do for the business. It's beyond just query and response, and it's actually query and analyze, or it's query and think about it, or it's return a bit more of a contextual response. And so now we're starting to see the virtual agents that we're delivering being used for different purposes, and as a result, the technology that we use has to be able to keep up. And the journey we've been on with DRUID over the last 12 months has been taking us from transactional processing and into querying of things like large volumes of data. So you think about things like your policies, your employee policies at work, things like absence rates, maternity policies, things like that. Pages and pages of documents that need to be sifted through so that you can find a contextual answer for your particular query. So DRUID is now helping us with some of that. In the finance space, it's pretty interesting. And then, of course, we're also thinking about what does that mean for finance? So finance allows us to move up the value chain. And you tended to have groups of activities that were suitable for automation. So things like your transactional processing. Everybody wants to talk to you about accounts payable and accounts receivable. I'm sure that's still true with all of your businesses as well. But more and more, people are starting to talk to us about the knowledge work. What does that mean, for an accounting team or for a technical accounting team? And really, that's where we're headed. And so today, we believe in showing you demos. That's absolutely what we want to do. Danny's going to take over the stage in just a second, and she's going to show you our new virtual agent that we're working on with the DRUID team, which is called Finsight. And that helps accounting policy experts, so this is technical accountants, to be able to draw out information from complex accounting policies. We're talking 500-600 page documents. We're talking really nuanced and particular questions. We're talking very bespoke and contextualized responses. And so I'll hand over at this point. Oh, I had another click. I'll hand over at this point to Danny. But just before I do, just quickly talk to you about a little bit of the automation journey that we see the back office going through. So we hear, a little bit about from our DRUID colleagues, hear a little bit about virtual agents in the back office. And actually, we just want to put this pyramid together to say, this is part of a journey that we're on and part of a process that we're all going through. Your back office, as we said earlier, used to be business process management. Now we're headed towards generative AI. And really, that journey involves us being able to go through each of these steps and say, we're offering automation for our common processes. That's RPA, that's nothing new. We're offering conversational AI for our query and response activity. Again, we've been there, we've done that. The expectations are growing. We're moved into big data. We're able to connect the dots between large pools of information, transactional finance into accounting, feeding back into your procurement team, all making better decisions for your CFO. And now we're pushing the boundaries into that generative AI space. And we're saying, let's actually get some really practical use cases of this really clever technology in that back office environment. So I'll hand over to Danny now, and she'll talk to you a little bit about Finsight.
Thank you. I didn't realise I was going to be the first one doing a live technology demo when when DRUID asked me to come today. So I'm going to dive into the demo in a moment, but just to talk to you a little bit about the use case. So Dave mentioned a product that we've been partnering with DRUID recently, which is called FinSight. Have we got any accountants in the room? No. Okay, one. We brought him. So the use case was driven from our accounting team. So we've explored DRUID's knowledge base, so the ability and the use to be able to query large policy documentation within the HR space before. The accounting one is the newest use case that we've been exploring. Our accountants within Liberty Global have a 555-page accounting policy document that they have to refer back to quite frequently to understand what their accounting position may be within Liberty Global, and then also to compare that to that of our auditors. In our case, that's KPMG, but obviously that could be any of the Big Four. And that's time-consuming. That's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pages of content that accountants need to read through. So we built FinSight with that in mind, working with the DRUID team and leveraging their technology. So I'm going to jump straight into the live demo, hopefully. Bear with me. Okay, right, so you see Microsoft Teams. This is the chosen location that we house our virtual assistants in. One, because it drives the most traffic in terms of employee engagement, and two, it's a tool that's really well understood within our organisation. Previously, we have used SharePoint pages for our virtual assistants, but actually we found that this encourages a lot more usage. So FinSight is using DRUID's knowledge base. So behind here, the virtual assistant will go and scrape either a web page that we've provided, which houses all the documentation, or standalone PDF documents that we've ingested within the virtual assistant. The idea is that you can ask technical accounting questions, and the virtual assistant FinSight will query the documentation that you're asking it to query. You can also build comparisons, which I'll show you now as well. So bear with me, let me just get some questions. So I'm asking the virtual assistant to build a comparison for me. So FinSight will now query 2 sets of documentation. And I want to stress that that's not just a couple of pages. That's into the thousands of pages that FinSight's now querying. So okay, I mean, it's come back and said that on this occasion, LG and KPMG don't have mentioned specifically to an install fee, but it's pulled back both of the policy documents if I wanted to go in and dive further to query those policy documents. Let me just pull up one other question. So again, these are quite technical accounting questions that I'm asking of the virtual assistant. I've asked now if it can build me a comparison across all data sources around US GAAP and IFRS policy. So it's actually going into all of the Big Four that we've ingested within the virtual assistant. And everyone cross your fingers, it will hopefully build a comparison. One thing I will say as well, Dave talked a little bit about our kind of evolution with the virtual assistants. So before we've focused very much on transactional virtual assistants, we've directed the virtual assistant to go into the ERP and pull back a specific field. What we're learning as we go throughout the build of FinSight is the continuity, the stability of the answers. There is a lot more effort spent on the prompt engineering side of the virtual assistant, which is something new to Liberty Global. So this has returned an answer which has queried all 4 documents. So, I mean, again, we're talking thousands and thousands of pages. The virtual assistant's pulling back what it believes I want to know based on the question I've asked. It's giving me LG's position against KPMG, EY, and PwC. If I wanted to further, I could go into the documents and see specifically where it's pulled those answers back for me. And then I could also go on and query that question a little bit further. But hopefully that gives you a flavour of, I guess, the art of the possible with Druid's knowledge base. Any time you've got large bodies of text, policy documentation, it's a great opportunity to be able to build your virtual assistant to be able to query that data for you. I think we have 5 or 10 minutes for Q&A, if there is any.
Any question?
Hi there.
Hello.
Thanks. It was great to see. You mentioned prompting. I know that's super important. Could you expand a little bit on that and what work you did or what lessons that you've learned in the journey you've gone on with that?
Yeah, certainly. I'll let one of the Druid team contribute as well. I don't know who wants to add to it, because Druid are the ones that are doing the technical build of the virtual assistant. Andrea can take it. But one of the things I would say is that the prompt engineering for Finsight, or the virtual assistant that we're using, you have to give very specific prompts to what you want the virtual assistant to do. So, for instance, you must respond in a polite manner and only within the realms of these 4 policy documents. And we've worked with Druid to kind of build out how we want the virtual assistant to look and feel, and its kind of branding. And we've built that within the prompts as well. But Andrea, I don't know if you want to comment any more.
Yeah, so basically DRUID has a module called Knowledge Base, where we ingest documents and large chunks of text coming from either, let's say, a SharePoint location or a shared drive or a website, as Danny said, so 10,000 pages and more. And what DRUID platform does is basically transforms this unstructured content into structured content, and using Microsoft Azure OpenAI, will generate in the end the final answer. But what DRUID does before preparing the prompts is actually taking user query, like Danny said, I want to compare multiple sources, looks into the whole content that was fed inside it, and then identifies the chunks, the paragraphs that are also, as you can see, highlighted and referenced there, in order to build a context for the right prompts that will be fed in a controlled manner to Microsoft Azure OpenAI. This, on one hand, prevents from hallucinating, and secondly, we also have different gateway in place, like controlled unit testing and test sets that can be ran, so that even if some changes appear within the model itself, the responses that are generated will be always the same to the same questions.
And I think probably just to add on the use case as well, because we're building this for accountants, accuracy is super important. So we don't want the virtual assistant to have complete freedom to be able to return back any answer. So that prompting, Andrea mentioned there, allowed us to put the real control and rigor around what it does and doesn't return.
We could just go one more here.
Hello, Russell Laurie from Robotics AI.
Hello.
Lovely demo. On the accountancy piece, is there a roadmap for Liberty that you take the information that you've produced so far and put it into some sort of like commentary within Microsoft Excel, because that's what a lot of the accountants do when they create the journals, or put it into the system? I guess the question I've got, is there a roadmap that says we're going to take this to the next step and start integrating with the systems and applications?
Dave's favourite question.
Yeah, it is my favourite question, actually. So thank you for asking it. I'll sort you out later. Look, we absolutely do see that there's an opportunity here to build a series of products for which the DRUID relationship is going to be very important to us. We touched earlier on journal automation being a big ticket item. And that absolutely is. And if you think about the accounting journal, for those of you that aren't kind of familiar with what we're talking about here, we're thinking about consolidating financial transactions that happen during a period of time, usually a month or a quarter, And then we need to aggregate different data sources together, validate those data sources, and then ultimately post them in the general ledger. And that's really what's happening. So this is about having an accurate financial record of your in-month transactions. And so, we are currently building an engine which will allow us to be able to take feeds from our customers for the different types of journals that they'd like to post, and then to be able to build those at scale. So this is kind of a scale-based modular automation for journals. To Danny's point, this is about accuracy of information as much as it is about speed to move. We recognize that we can't take 2 to 5 years doing this per customer, otherwise we'll never get done. And so this stuff's going to happen quickly. And then, the second part is once you've, modularized your journal automation, you can also start to segregate that free text, which is written, and the source information. So if you think about, your kind of sales ledgers, which are ultimately becoming, your sales journals, there's a lot of free text, which is recorded by business users, which needs to be extracted, and then sense needs to be made of it, so it needs to be properly categorized. And so we believe that we can use the DRUID technology with a bit of a build on what you're seeing here in Finsight to be able to extract that, rationalize it, and then make accurate postings. Now, that's doing two things. One, it's assisting your system of record, so your ERP system, because it's providing relevant commentary to explain the transaction, so that in a period of time, either you or your auditors can go back on that transaction and it makes sense, which is good. But it's helping you with things like your month-end packs. And so we talk about kind of financial reporting being incredibly important here. This is how, finance leadership team are able to make decisions and be able to forecast in the future. And so being able to extract some of that information and contextualize it and then put it into month-end packs, we also think is hugely valuable. And then I guess the last thing I'd say is, once you've posted your kind of journal transactions, you need to reconcile them. So there needs to be some kind of account reconciliation that's happening. There's a couple of ways of doing that. I mean, Blackline have been pretty synonymous in this industry for a long time, as you know. Liberty Shared Services have built an alternative accounts reconciliation tool which complements the Finsight product and fits into that work stream. And so this is about solving holistic end-to-end business problems rather than offering point solutions for particular transactions. Otherwise, you'll end up with this, this house full of lots of different solutions for lots of different needs, all trying to play alongside each other. So this is about bringing a bit of harmony to that.
We have a question from LinkedIn. How do you manage accuracy of the answers?
Do you want to go?
Yeah, so I don't know if they will have heard that online because we didn't read it out through a mic, the question.
The question was coming in from LinkedIn. How do you manage the accuracy of the answer, as you emphasized that it's important?
Yeah, so I think we kind of touched on that in the first question that was asked. A lot of this is around the prompt engineering and the controls that we put around it. So if you think of when you're using, ChatGPT, Gemini, the data source is the open internet. Our data source is controlled documentation that we are giving the virtual assistant. It can't go outside the boundaries of the documentation that we've provided the virtual assistant. And we set those controls by what we tell the virtual assistant it can or can't do.
Just to add to that a little bit, this stuff's really hard as well. And so, our learnings are, move slowly and precisely and then execute quickly. And which we're really grateful to the DRUID team for, I have to say. We often turn these things over for a long time, and then we'll have a quick conversation and say, right, we need to move really quickly, DRUID, you've got 2 weeks. And that relationship's working out really, really well for us because it's allowing us to be really precise about how we're pulling together how the answers should be structured, and it gives us that control point between DRUID, the developers, building the prompts, and Liberty Shared Services, the experienced business users working on behalf of multiple clients to understand what the client expects from the answer. So you've got that two-phase, if you like, testing process.
Plus the KB unit testing that we are monitoring throughout the dashboards.
Very good.
Yeah, my question is more around how you're training the bot to improve. So accountants, in a way, where they're very precise and they're all often very knowledgeable about the subject as well. What are the opportunities for feedback around things that they're seeing the bot produce that are incorrect, so you can use that as part of improving the quality of the output?
I'll just take the first half of that, and then I'll hand over to Dave. Before we launched the product, we did a huge amount of testing with very ring-fenced groups. So my team, which is the transformation function, worked directly with DRUID to build the virtual assistant on a particular use case, which was one document. Once we were happy with that, then we ingested further documentation. And then when we were happy with that, we opened it to a smaller user group to do user testing, to feed in their responses to the queries that they're asking. So I'd say from a deployment perspective, a very, very controlled deployment, I think, is really important. And then opening it up gradually to more users. We have got a fantastic dashboard through DRUID as well, which tells us all of the questions that have been asked, the responses that have been returned. And within our other virtual assistants, although I know your question was about FinSight, we've built a CSAT survey within the virtual assistants, so people can say what was their experience like, but then also leave us commentary about how they want to see the improvements as well.
Oh, that's right. And look, the only thing I've got to build on that really is, it's about where your transformation happens, in my opinion, as much as, who's involved in the testing. And so when we're building a finance product, we're working with the CFOs of different group companies. We're working with the chief accounting officer. I mean, hey, that guy's got high standards, and for all of the right reasons. But, Danny talked about the testing group. We've surrounded ourselves with over 150 accounting professionals, and everybody's been really gracious with the time and lent in, but they'll tell you if it's wrong. It was definitely, it's our learning here is that this is a school of hard knocks. Put something out there into the world and have a leather jacket as all of the kind feedback comes back, and then we'll inch forward and grind our way through that process. But until it's been through lots of testing with the accounting professionals and they can use it and say, actually, it's like having an intelligent colleague in the room. And actually, just to give you kind of a little bit of experience here, when we started off, people were saying, right, it's like a grad on its first day. You've kind of given it the textbook material, and it's able just to, verbalize the textbook, but it's not actually giving me the answer I want, because what I want is contextual to the query. A few weeks ago, 8-10 weeks ago, we were getting the feedback, actually, it's now like, entry-level accountant. I like that now. So this person's been through, they've got the professional qualifications, they can add a little bit of context. And so, that learning journey is definitely modular, but it comes with, that human feedback loop, and that has to be accounting professionals. So you have to surround yourself with them.
I think you already answered my question. My question was, there are lots of, these are policy documents, right? So most of them going to be the same things, people repeat and repeat and repeat. So these prompts, does it look at the repeated questions and then they cache it, or every time it has to actually talk to the model and then understand stuffs?
All right, I think Andrea's going to take this, but we need a mic for...
Because that involves cost, isn't it?
Oh, there's the mic here.
So basically, we have also conversation history mining. We have already, is not yet into the Liberty Global use case implemented, but we have for other customers. So what we are doing is basically considering the answers. In some cases, we route to a live agent in the contact center, and using generative AI, large language models, we extract from the entire live agent conversation the questions and answers, and then add these automatically using the backend APIs into the knowledge base for self-training of the models. It's already in production for one of our customers, Up, who is handling meal tickets. But also we have created a procurement virtual assistant, which we'll be demoing in the next session, where we are basically considering every document, extracting the requirements, and generating dynamically knowledge-based content.
That is. No?
Good, right. Thank you very much.
Cheers. Thank you.
Honestly, Danny, David, it's truly impressive how far you've actually come in embracing the technology and your journey in AI. So, can't wait, and I'm sure the DRUID team can't wait to continue that journey with you. So, honestly, fantastic job. Thank you. Actually, can you give him another round of applause, please? That demo was absolutely brilliant. Alrighty, so what we got next? We got one more before the break. Well, it's a longer break. It's your lunch break. So I'm going to now introduce you to. Well, I don't think she needs an introduction. She's been talking throughout the whole session, but I need to introduce her anyway. So our co-founder and Chief Customer Success Officer, Andrea Pleasure, who's going to talk about driving ROI through effective, intelligent orchestration, right? And what she's going to share with you is, what is our approach in terms of delivering that? And she's going to unveil the key pillars that set us apart to actually reach that goal. So please, welcome to the stage, Andrea.
Thank you, everyone. It's nice to be part of Liberty Global team. Thank you, Danny, Dave, Max, Shelby. It's been a journey. Now the FinSite is sending me notes. Yeah. Still there? Yes. So I'm a bit nervous because what I'm going to showcase today, it's brand new. So it's something that we built, and we will be launching something that is unique and was completed on Saturday night. This Saturday night. Yes, this Saturday night. It's basically the integration with the Copilot solution from Microsoft. As we have been talking to Microsoft, since now we are the first conversational AI platform that will be that has connected to Microsoft Copilot. I need to find a bit my deck because it's no, it's not this one. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so why DRUID is unique? Yeah. Why DRUID is unique? So you know that there are several conversational AI platforms altogether on the market, but we consider that the power of DRUID relies both in the technology but also in the team. We have now created a center of excellence within DRUID that is building pilot projects, innovations that will support customers and also our partners in order to deliver solutions. And the pillars from the technology that is supporting these teams are the knowledge-based part that Dave and Danny have already presented to you. We have the Megabot. Megabot basically is the innovation of DRUID. We are kind of pondering on the name. I like to call it Bot Almighty. Livy wants to call it the conductor or the team leader virtual assistant. So what the Megabot is essentially the dream of having one single application, one single conversational layer that every persona inside the organization will interact to, regardless if they are internal, external users.
Platform. That is very important. That any platform you are buying or updating or renewal comes with a Megabot, which is part of the platform.
And very important, the Megabot itself, it's empty. But it comes with virtual assistants, chatbots, that are business full of knowledge. So we have, in the example that I'm going to show you, is basically considering HR processes, IT support, accounting, sales processes, smart reporting. So all these virtual assistants that support
and assures the security
Megabot,
of each bot, of each robot.
all the interactions are handled in a secure manner. The data is not stored inside DRUID platform. It remains in your systems. But what is important, the persons that are interacting with the Megabot, being customers, suppliers, employees, only based on their security access role, they can talk with virtual assistants that act as chatbots to the Megabot. We have introduced also the concept of CBA, Smart Application, Conversational Business Application, and you will see how this, let's say, combined with the potential of the Megabot, create also the entire solution that comes on top of a system. For instance, in procurement, we managed to put steroids on Ariba or on other procurement websites, and we transformed documents which are usually tedious and long, like RFX, request for proposal, request for information, request for quotation, documents that usually are PDF format, and suppliers need to read and go through each and every page in order to extract the requirements, fill in some Excel sheets, send some additional evidence for the RFP itself. We have automated the entire process. We just put the buyer simply uploads the RFP document, hundreds of pages. We have done a pilot project for one of our customers in Singapore that is handling EV charging networks. They had like 300 pages RFP document. It was processed in couple of seconds and automatically extracted 300 requirements for suppliers, and suppliers, 10 suppliers we took as in the pilot phase, they had each of them 10 to 15 documents, PDF, PowerPoints, or financial offers that were uploaded into the system, and the platform automatically compared the requirements against the responses and generated scoring for each and every supplier. So the procurement department can simply ask a question: how does supplier 1 compare in terms of this line item from the offer against supplier 2, and what decision should I take from the commercial perspective but also from the technical perspective? And you will see how smart it is and how consistent the generated answer is. Livio, would you like to add something?
No, I would like to say that with a CBA, we provided workspace in which you can develop small applications which are absolutely necessary in order, for example, to generate different reports, views, selects, and everything is done on the workspace. And this part of workspace, to be honest, it's classified by the analysts like Gartner and Forrester like the unique part of DRUID. Without this capability to develop small application to assure an intimate integration of a platform, it's very difficult or require a lot of man hours. And that's, I think, it's an important.
Dashboard, we already talked about.
Yes, but the dashboard I would like to, that is my favorite pillar, to be honest, and I will say this shows how we would like to take care of you. Because up to the end, you know that we create a chatbot which became smarter or to remain like on the same level, which means a fail process. But to be sure that you take care of quality of the chatbot is to set up a KPI initially and then to see that the KPI grows. And this is possible to be done with a very analytic dashboards, which has alert engine, alerts if something happens, if there is some drop of the users in order to be fixed. If you are looking to our clients, they started with one chatbot and then reached to 5 or 6 or 10 or something like this, is because we are trying to take care of them through the dashboard. As a customer success without a dashboard doesn't have any tool. This is the right tool to show to you that we do not sell a solution. We sell a journey in order you to do permanently upsell. This is a way to do upsell and to grow the business of DRUID. For example, and Raj or other people, Tracy and Self and others, they know that DRUID compensate an upsell with a higher commission than if you have a new logo. And this is exactly in order to have a respect, because for me, as a company in which the different venture capital are investing, there is a higher trust when the existing clients are continuing to work with you. And this is the dashboard. It was permanently designed and improved in order to take care of you. That is, and solution library, allow me to say, solution library is exactly what we capitalize up in the last 3-4 years with all our use cases, which we decided to be a breakdown, not entire solution library, but just fragments in order Megabot to have the capability to develop different chatbots tailor-made by the client. You can say now everything. Yeah.
Yes.
This is horrible.
It was generated with
it's
AI.
like cockroach cup painting. It's absolutely terrible, but
It was
sometimes.
generated with AI, but what we wanted to illustrate.
Well, I can't take a look here.
So the prompt that we created was basically having a robot with multiple.
But you don't know if the robot cries or smiles.
No, he smiles, and he has connectors with all the business systems, and he can build by itself. That's why the Lego pieces on the legs, because he can build by itself. So this is where we want to take the Megabot, to be able to simply specify, I need to have this policy inside you, and it builds a child bot. I want to have the accounts payable process, and it takes the solution from the solution library and builds on its own. That's why we put the Lego pieces. And this is a more, I think, straightforward representation of the virtual assistant. You see the naming, we still don't find the right name. Maybe we can organize a competition after this event to propose a name. We have the team leader bot, and we have different.
You can imagine what confusion in the marketing, in the product marketing. I talk about conductor. Now he says a team lead, and there is writing Megabot. So you can imagine what a confusion should be for this name. But we promise that in the end of June,
we will make up
we'll
our minds.
I will be very open if we make some suggestions, because at that moment, in order not to be just conductor is not here, I think. Yeah, team lead.
Yes.
Yeah.
The idea was that we want to show you how these all virtual assistants come already full of knowledge, of business knowledge, with predefined connectors, and the crown, the jewel on the crown is this new virtual assistant. So we are kind of able to integrate other technologies, not limited only to chatbots creating.
Yes. You know how long you'll see the Copilot connected. You know how long it took for us, to be honest? We say that is a fantastic, took by a guy who works somewhere in Asia.
Our India
Our
team.
implant, yes. I think took around 1 week.
Less.
Or even less. Of course, he said 1 week. But the problem is that this is exactly the capability of the platform. To integrate in such short time is the capability of the platform. Okay, I submit my
So I will not bore you with more slides. I'm just going through
Very
the
well.
demo. Okay, so this is the example of a Megabot deployed. Why is not projecting? Okay. So basically, the virtual assistant is deployed in Microsoft Teams because we wanted to have like a single virtual assistant. Similar use case we have, for instance, in the UiPath Center of Excellence, where they have 13 virtual assistants but deployed in Slack. They have deployed DRUID platform inside their Microsoft Azure subscription in Kubernetes, and they have covering use cases from HR, accounting, IT support, knowledge base, including Avo Kudos, which are fun virtual assistant to give you kudos when you have a special achievement, like a gamification solution. So this virtual assistant supports you with smart reporting capabilities, HR management use cases where we have a combination between transactional use cases and HR policy, but also applying for a job inside the company where you simply upload the CV and will prompt you to the right position. You will see this immediately. Also, we have finance and operation. Danny and Dave already have presented the accounting solution, the fin side, but also we have transactional on the accounts payable use case integrated with Oracle, with SAP to perform PO remittance, invoice reconciliation, PO queries, and invoice queries related and everything on the accounts payable part, but also we have accounts receivable, so doing the collection and assisting within the collection process. We have created from scratch different expense requests, a small application for various customers of ours. We simply take a picture with your expense document and will automatically get uploaded in the accounting systems. IT support, different queries, knowledge base on how to operate, for instance, with SAP, including adding pictures like a guided training material. VPN access, we have integrations with RPA processes to provision automatically the VPN access, and also to have like a BPM of approval task, submit service and request password resets. And also on support and collaboration, schedule a meeting and also be able to extract from the meeting notes the next steps, create tasks and follow up on tasks in order to make sure the tasks are met. Visa queries, so usually office management support, and different document searches within SharePoint. With the Megabot you can choose, here I have all the roles, hence why I see all the virtual assistant. We put the menu just to have an idea on what the Megabot could help you with, but also, for instance, if I want to generate the monthly report, I can go here, or I could simply type I want to generate the monthly board report. So what this use case does is basically DRUID will connect to different systems to extract the content, then connect to OpenAI to generate like information coming from internet, and in the end we pass all this context controlled, combined from multiple applications to Microsoft Copilot to generate a PowerPoint document that will be afterwards sent directly to the board. So these were and I chose this use case because the board meeting will be on 25th of July, and every time we have a lot of time spent to prepare the board deck. So with this virtual assistant, what we want to achieve is to combine all the data in different applications by the power of DRUID connector. So you see here, these are the usual KPIs that we are reporting. I will say yes, please have the same. So now it's connecting to all the systems that these KPIs can be extracted from. For instance, we have SAP in order to extract the revenue invoice and the accounts payable value, with the HR system in order to identify the new hires, so success factors, with Salesforce to identify the new logos and the total value of the pipeline, weighted pipeline, because this one is the one representative. And then we have from Excel the NRR, net retention value, because this is, as Livio said, it's more important to keep our customers than obviously acquiring new logos is important, but to keep the customers and generate upsell is also very important. So now he says, should I start designing the PowerPoint file? And because I want to add additional information to the one that has already been generated, I will say no, not yet. Also, you will see in this example the fluid conversation. It's very conversational. I know we have this debate with with Liberty Global that the boss should be more and more conversation, and now we are working towards this conversational experience part. Okay, what else would you like me to help you with? I will say, I want to know if, let's assume I'm a timber producing company. This was a request coming from one of our partners, GSI. I want to know if Chile is a market for timber. What are the top 5 producers by turnover? This goes to the open models, so over the internet, in order to prepare the information. This request came from a GSI. They had a customer. It took 2 weeks to get this in front of the board. So with Microsoft Azure OpenAI, we got the response. It built a comparison between the top producing company for timber. And now I say, perfect. Can you please generate the board, the deck for the board, the PowerPoint for the board. Should I add this to your PowerPoint? So the last information, yes, please. Please wait, and now the Copilot is triggered. We are using our REST API connector in order to pass the context that was captured inside DRUID entities from the systems that we are working with, and now hopefully the Copilot sends back the URL with the PowerPoint based on the information we fed it with. So this is the deck. These are the KPIs. And this is the information on the second slide that was generated. And now if I want to send it to the board as well, will John Doe receive it? Yes. And I also have received it. Is there any? No, thanks. We are very polite to each other, as you could see. And I would like to show you also how the email got to my email box. This is the email that was generated. I'm in CC, and this is the link that was generated with the PowerPoint. I want to thank Deepesh and Abhi for their contribution, and to the Center of Excellence team that put together the placeholders and the chatbot for this integration. Now if I want to go back to the Megabot again, and I want to, for instance, I want to apply for a job. Okay, so I can say here, I want to apply
I think it's a bad decision.
inside the company. I don't have a position inside the company. So, okay, before moving forward, please upload your CV. So I will upload the CV from my device. It's a CV, it's my CV, and it will automatically extract all the skills that I have described in the CV and try to match the skills that are present inside the CV against the job descriptions that are also published within the intranet. So after reading the CV, it says that based on your resume, I see that you have a strong background in software development, team management, and business computer studies. Given your experience and skills, I would suggest the role of a mobile multi-skilled engineer. This role involves providing reactive and planned maintenance services to operation relevant qualification in heating. Does this role enter, or do you prefer another type of position? I say, it sounds good, but I would like to see the other options I have. Fingers crossed. Okay. I understand that you want to explore given your extensive experience in software development and your leadership role, I would suggest considering a role that involves managing a team of software developers, or a role that involves strategic decision making in a tech company. Unfortunately, at the moment, we don't have such roles available. However, we regularly update our job listing. Can you show me all the jobs that are available? Thanks a bit.
These fragments should be included in HR.
Yes. In the HR or in the recruitment virtual assistant.
Yes, but it's, yeah.
Okay, so I will go for an electrician position. Okay, so now it will start with a pre-qualification interview and also describe the certifications that are required, safety, health and safety legislation. Do you meet these requirements? I'll say yes, of course. And in the end, it will be able to schedule an interview. Fantastic. It's great to hear that you meet the requirements for the electrician role. Now let's move on to the next step. Could you please provide me with your phone number? We need this information to proceed with your application. My phone number is and will give me also the possible interview slots. Okay, normal business hour between Monday to Friday. I'll say great. Tuesday is perfect. 10 a.m. Look the conversation, how fluent it is. It's not hard-coded. We are using generative AI in order to keep the context and generate the next answer. Within the data source that is controlled by DRUID. Thank you for applying. You will get an email for confirming the appointment. One last thing that I wanted to show you on the Megabot, and then we go to the procurement solution, and very fast to the Clica, which is our reporting virtual assistant. How do I save an expense report in SAP? So you see how versatile the Megabot is. I can go from HR to smart reporting to preparing the board, and also to IT support and training materials, with also link to the images on how to save things into SAP. So this was the Megabot. Any questions on the Megabot side?
And the Megabot gives the possibility to all the chatbots which he manage to communicate between them. And this is the right way, because the most important I see is there is a chatbot with a business knowledge for recruitment, one is for sales, one is for HR, one is for financial. In fact, in a company, there is just only one business which everything should communicate, and this is what happens. Without a Megabot, it is impossible to create and to manage this communication between chatbots, and this is what we have created. It's a possibility to manage as a conductor all communication between chatbots. I gave permanent an example. The expenses, travel expenses, is a financial issue, but belongs in a way with HR. And it's so important to be in a connection both. And that's is possible to be done. Let's switch to procurement.
So the procurement virtual assistant, this is also a CBA part, conversational business application. You see that we created like a virtual desktop for various personas within the company. Again, I'm an admin, that's why I see all the roles. You have the buyer persona, you have the sourcing, we have the supplier contracts where we could compare different versions of the supplier contracts that have been issued, and also we have the virtual assistant all the time on top of everything the data that you saw or you will be seeing is taken real time, so it's not stored inside DRUID platform unless we are adding like an add-on to a different system for which you didn't have support in the past. So with that, we can use DRUID data services to connect with one of your databases in order to store it in your database. I would like to start now as a buyer, and I would like to we have different automations. So from uploading the expense request document, the RFX document, request for proposal, it can be hundreds of pages of documents. For instance, I will just give you an example of such a file that has 300 requirements out of 172 pages that have been extracted. I know that there are people in the room who saw the procurement solution already, but what I promised over the demos was that we will be able also to compare the answers coming from supplier. When you saw the demos, this was not available. In the meantime, we have launched an upgraded version of the procurement virtual assistant, and now basically the supplier simply needs to upload the responses, and for each supplier we create its own response set. Each supplier can upload multiple documents in different formats, and it doesn't need to bother in matching the requirements against the documents he provides. He can just take everything, put it inside the platform, and automatically the platform will be able to analyze the compliance of each supplier against the requirements that have been extracted from the procurement document from the RFP itself. Now, if I want to go at the level of, and also comparative insights, like for instance, comparing the compliance of each supplier against the responses that they have provided, and moreover, we can generate a report like a matrix based on different rules in order to evaluate the suppliers. Now, if I'm going at the level of the RFX, and here it's something which is, for me, it's amazing. Basically, for each supplier response, we built a knowledge base, and now we are comparing different sources of data, dynamically creating the knowledge base. What I said earlier, that we can train on the fly virtual assistants and build the models on the fly. This happened also with the procurement. Once you upload the documents, they get a knowledge base is built, and now I can compare answers from different suppliers. For instance, can you please tell me how how supplier 1 compares to supplier 2 in the final price for DRUID platform license? Also, what is the discount each is proposing? So we have uploaded inside, and I will show you the documents, 2 documents that represent the financial offers with different line items. So what it does, we configured it to respond first what supplier 1 does, second what supplier 2, and then build a comparison. The final price for a DRUID platform license from supplier 1 is 221.6K. This price reflects a 10% discount applied to the original price of 24K. The billing cycle for this service is yearly, and the quantity is 2. The support services are for 2 years. The support services model is hybrid, and the license is valid from June 2024 to June 26. While for supplier number 2, the final price is 25K with a discount of 15K from the original price, which is 30K, with a billing cycle that is yearly and quantity 2 for 2 years, the same period. So the discounted price and the final price is 25K. If you need further details, Okay, feel free. And now the combined answer. Supplier 1 offers a final price of 21 for DRUID platform, reflecting a 10% discount from the original price. On the other hand, Supplier 2 provides a final price of 25, which includes a 15% discount from the original price. Therefore, Supplier 1 discount price final is 21, while Supplier 2 is 25. In summary, Supplier 1's final price for DRUID platform license, if you need further, so it can also give me a recommendation, but it's obvious in here that the supplier number 1 gave the best price. And I want to also show you for each supplier how the offer document looks like. Let's see if I have it available in here, just to understand where the data was taken from. So as you can see, it's an Excel file with multiple line items, and the quantity and all the data that was extracted was specifically for that line, and it was able to provide real-time response and analysis on the supplier's part. On the procurement, are there any questions?
So I would like to say regarding the procurement, which is our newest use case, is very important not only that this kind of information you cannot get it from Ariba or from different other systems, but it's not necessary to be a user of Ariba. It's not necessary to have access in a computer. You can ask any time. You can be in an airplane or you can be anywhere, and to ask different questions like this, which are very important to get it very soon. In principle, from a procurement which we have implemented, 80% of operational tasks and questions are through the virtual assistants, instead to go for in a standard one, because it's easier, it's faster, and it's not necessary to be a user. And this is a fantastic advantage. So and you can permanently to add some other features, and just based on the flow. It's not complicated. As you know, to add features in Ariba, who works in it takes a lot of time, and it's not easy at all. So that's the reason that with such a platform for this, it's an important advantage.
So
okay.
In delay, so we have to have the lunch break now, and I will show you the click reports after lunch. It's 5 minutes after.
Okay. After lunch. So my closing, it will be after lunch.
Yeah. Okay.
We have lunch now.
We do have lunch now, but before everybody departs for lunch, can we just give a round of applause to Andrea? Yeah, the passion clearly comes through, and she can go on talking about this for hours. But look, I said at the beginning, the combination of DRUID and generative AI and conversational AI is transforming the way industries are working, right? And it's going to continue to do so. And I hope, you've taken away some key things that you can take back to work, to your peers, and think about use cases where this kind of technology can actually help you deliver better customer experiences, operationalize your efficiencies, and and drive innovation across your organization. So it just leaves me to say we're concluding our presentations for the day, and I just want to give a big round of if we can give a big round of applause for all the presenters who have given some really insightful and thought-provoking presentations. So that also concludes our online streaming. So thank you to our online attendees. And after lunch, which will be now and then come back here in about an hour, we will start to get your AI juices flowing for some roundtable discussions. So thank you very much.
you.